Sex is a part of nature. I go along with nature. Sex without love is as hollow and ridiculous as love without sex. The only way to deal with this life is to find someone to share it with, including all its raw, messy, intimate, and beautiful moments. Sex is not just about pleasure, but also about surrender and vulnerability. Good sex is about free emotions. Bad sex is about blocked emotions. When two people love each other truly and deeply, they form an unbreakable bond that transcends words. Sex becomes a language, a communion that speaks to the soul, body, and heart simultaneously. Sex is not about what you do. It's about who you are doing it with and why. Intimacy is not purely physical. It's the act of connecting with someone so deeply you feel like you can see into their soul. Sex is the ultimate expression of love, trust, and vulnerability, where two people willingly lay down their defenses and meet each other in the most authentic way possible. Sexuality is a vital part of who we are, but how we express it and share it defines the depth of our humanity. Sex is not just about pleasure or reproduction. It's about communication, trust, intimacy, and an incredible ability to connect with another human being. Healthy sexuality involves mutual respect, open communication, and a shared desire to explore pleasure and connection without fear or judgment. True sexual liberation is not about promiscuity. It's about understanding what makes you feel loved, desired, and fulfilled. There is no right or wrong way to experience sexuality, as long as there is mutual consent, respect, and joy in the act. Sex is the glue that holds a relationship together, but it's the respect and kindness that make the glue stick. The mind is the most important sexual organ. Passion begins in the way we think, speak, and feel about ourselves and each other. Sex is an art. You are the brush, your partner is the canvas. Together, you paint a masterpiece. Consent isn't just sexy, it's the foundation of trust and intimacy. Without it, sex becomes an act of power, not connection. To love without holding back and to express yourself sexually without shame is one of life's purest freedoms. Sex is not dirty. Society's lens on it often is. When done with love and respect, it becomes the purest form of connection between two people. True intimacy is when you feel safe enough to be vulnerable, both emotionally and physically. Sexual energy is the creative force of the universe. Harness it wisely, and it will lead to unimaginable joy and fulfillment. When you fully embrace your sexuality, you embrace your humanity. It's not something to be feared or hidden, but something to be celebrated. Sex should be a mutual dance of giving and receiving, where both partners find joy in pleasing and being pleased. Sex is like a conversation. If you're not listening as much as you're talking, you're doing it wrong. Love and sex are not synonymous, but when they meet, they create magic that goes beyond the physical realm. In the end, sex is not about performance or perfection, but about connection and understanding. Sex is not a transaction. It is an exchange of energy, love, and trust between two people. The more you talk openly about your desires and boundaries, the better your sex life will be. Healthy sexuality is about exploring yourself and your partner in a way that feels safe, exciting, and fulfilling. There's no such thing as normal in sex, as long as it's consensual and brings joy to all involved. Sex is like music. You don't need to play it perfectly to enjoy it, but the harmony between two players makes all the difference. True sexual intimacy requires shedding your fears, your masks, and your ego to meet someone in their rawest form. Sexuality is a powerful force. How you express it shapes not just your relationships, but also your self-image. A satisfying sex life is built on trust, communication, and a willingness to prioritize each other's pleasure. Sex isn't about being good at it. It's about making your partner feel cherished, desired, and respected. The best sex happens when there's not only chemistry, but also a shared emotional and intellectual connection. Sex should be a source of joy, not a source of stress or shame. Embrace it with an open heart and an open mind. To love someone is to see all their flaws and still want to be vulnerable with them, physically and emotionally. Sex is an adventure, not a destination. It's about exploring the unknown with someone you trust. The most beautiful moments in intimacy happen when you stop worrying about how you look and start focusing on how you feel. Sexuality is deeply personal and profoundly universal. It's where we find our shared humanity. When sex is grounded in mutual respect, it becomes a language of love that words cannot express. The more comfortable you are with your body, the more enjoyable and fulfilling your sex life will be. Sex is not the goal of love, but a beautiful expression of it. It's where two souls meet without pretense. A fulfilling sex life doesn't require perfection. It requires patience, honesty, and a willingness to grow together. Sex is not just a physical act. It's an emotional and spiritual connection that transcends time and space. Your sexuality is yours to own, explore, and express. Don't let society dictate how you should feel about it. At its best, sex is a moment where two people truly see, feel, and honor each other without walls or masks. There is a great difference between having sex and making love. One is a physical act, the other an emotional journey. Sexual compatibility is as much about emotional intelligence as it is about physical chemistry.